Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be making a vegan chocolate cake. This is a recipe that I've made for a few months, but now I've kind of gotten it, I've tweaked a few things, and hopefully it's still good. But we're going to try and make a really fancy cake because making a chocolate cake isn't good enough anymore. I gotta make it really fancy. So I got decorations, and yesterday I made cookies that I'm gonna put in and on top of the cake to hopefully make it look cooler. But to start, we're gonna wash our hands. I said in my last cooking video that I don't measure stuff, and that is true when I'm making bread. But when I make cakes and not necessarily cookies, because cookies are you can be a little bit more lax on the exact measurements, but cakes I try and stay pretty accurate, so I do measure a little bit more when I'm making my cakes. To start, we have to do a few prep things. One, since this is vegan chocolate cake, we have to make our own buttermilk type thing. So what I'm doing is I'm using oat milk. You can use almond milk or coconut milk or whatever milk, soy milk if you want. I'm gonna measure a cup of this, and then I'm gonna put about a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar in it, just to curdle it, and then you have to let that sit for 10 minutes. That's why we're doing it first. Now we have to melt a half a cup of coconut oil. I'm gonna fill this up, and then I'm gonna put this directly onto the stove just to melt, and if I have to add a little bit more, I'll add a little bit more in. I don't use a cartouche is what I believe it's called, and it's where you put parchment paper at the bottom of your pan. So I just oil it and then put flour in it to help the cake not stick. So I use coconut oil. You can use vegan butter or any type of oil. Okay, now we're gonna add a little bit of flour to each pan. Now we're gonna preheat the oven to 350. Okay, now that the prep is done, we're gonna start on the actual cake mix. So we're gonna do 2 cups of flour and 1 3/4 cup sugar. Now we're gonna add 3/4 cup cocoa. We're gonna add the baking powder, baking soda, and salt. We're gonna add 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1.5 teaspoons of baking soda, about a teaspoon of salt. Now we're gonna whisk this together. Now that the dry ingredients are well combined, we're gonna add the wet ingredients. I'm gonna mix them together slightly in this. So I'm gonna add the half a cup of coconut oil that's now melted. Add a slight bit of vanilla, about a teaspoon. 2/3 cup of applesauce. The coconut oil is never really gonna mix into this. It will mix into the batter though, so don't be worried if you're mixing this and it's completely separated. While I mix this, I'm gonna boil some water because we're gonna add a cup of hot water at the end. Now we're gonna add a cup of hot water, and it doesn't matter how hot. This is not bread. You will not kill anything if you add too hot of water. Now I'm gonna put them into 2 cake pans because I want to make a cake. But I have made this batter into cupcakes, and it did turn out fine. For the cakes, you cook at 350 for 30 to 35 minutes. And then for cupcakes, it's 350 again, but for about 20 minutes. This may not look like a lot of batter in each cake tin, but it does rise a little bit. So it will get thicker when you cook it. So I'm gonna cook these for 30 to 35 minutes at 350. And once they start cooling, then I'm gonna start making the toppings for it. I'm not gonna make the frosting yet because I do need to cool a little bit. At the end of the cooling time, I'm gonna make the frosting. Okay, it's been 30 minutes of the cakes baking. I'm gonna check to see if they're cooked by sticking a toothpick in them, except we don't have any toothpicks. Oh. Okay, they're just slightly not cooked, so I'm gonna leave them in there for a few more minutes. My cat came back. Isn't she so cute? Her name's Cheyenne. She's the thing I'm gonna miss the most when I go to college. The 5 minutes is almost up from the 5 minutes I added, so we're gonna test the cakes again. Okay, now that the cakes are done, see how much they rose? Like, they weren't even half filled, and now they're pretty much all the way filled with cake. I'm gonna run a knife around the edges, just so when they do cool and I tip them out, they're gonna be easier to tip out. We're gonna let these cool, and then we're gonna prepare some of the toppings. I have these, which are, I know they say Aussie Bites on them, and these are something my dad really likes from Costco. But I made cookies yesterday, and I have a lot of them. And so to go with the coconut cookie, I'm gonna make chocolate covered strawberries, because coconut and strawberry is like, I like that combination, and chocolate. Some of these strawberries aren't very good, but they are organic, so I'm gonna wash them, and then we're gonna melt some chocolate and dip them in the chocolate. I have 2 types of chocolate, so I didn't know if this was gonna be enough. So this is like, they're both vegan. So I'm gonna use the rest of this bar of chocolate, and if we need more, I'll add some of this in, but hopefully I don't have to. As this melts, I'm gonna add a little bit of sugar, because this is really not sweet at all. And I'm gonna add some sugar and some coconut oil. After I dip the strawberries, I'm gonna put them on the Sillipat mat. I've dipped all the strawberries that I want, and I still have like melted chocolate, so I'm gonna keep it and I'll like put it on top of the cake or something. Our cakes have cooled, and now we're gonna make frosting. We're gonna make half a batch of frosting, and apparently we ran out of powdered sugar or confectioner's sugar, so what I did was I blended up normal sugar to make powdered sugar. So we're gonna add 1.5 cups of confectioner's sugar and like 1/4 to 1/2 cup of cocoa powder. We're gonna add some oat milk or whatever milk that you want to add. I always add less milk at first because then I can add more to like loosen it up, but I kind of want it a little bit thicker. Okay, now get something that you want to put your cake on. This is what I'm putting on. It's a cutting board I made my junior year of high school in wood shop. Okay, now take your 2 cakes, and you're gonna put the first one down with the flat side on the bottom, and then we're gonna fill it. Okay, now we're gonna put a thin layer of frosting on this side, and I'm gonna use a knife. Now I'm gonna add like a lip of frosting to the edge, because when we put the cookies in, we don't want them to like spill out when we put the top layer of cake on. Okay, now we're gonna add the crushed cookies we crushed before into the center and just like evenly spread them out. Now we're gonna put the top layer of cake on, and remember we want to put this one with the dome side here so the top is level. We're gonna crumb coat it, which is basically like a coating of frosting that's thinner. You chill it after that, and then later you come back and frost the entire thing. We're gonna chill this in the fridge for like 2 hours. Me and my brother are gonna go on a hike, and then we'll be back and we'll frost it and decorate it. I'm back. It's been 2 hours or so, maybe 2.5 hours. I've changed. I went on a hike, and now I'm ready to make the second batch of frosting and finish the cake. So we're gonna make the frosting the exact same way we made it last time. We're gonna use a piping bag to pipe some frosting. Okay, now we're gonna use like half the frosting to frost the cake, and then half of it for like decoration on top. I have it somewhat split out, so I'm just gonna go like that, and then I'll like smooth it out with a knife. Okay, now that the cake is frosted, we're gonna use the rest of the frosting to make like swirls on the top. Okay, I'm gonna try and do some like decorative swirls on top. I've never really done this, so we're gonna see how it's going. We're gonna put some strawberries and some cookies on it, and then we're gonna call it good. We're gonna refrigerate it again because it needs to cool still. Now we're gonna put some strawberries on it. There we go. And this is the final cake that I made. I'm not gonna eat it right now because I haven't eaten like any food today, like any real food today. So I'm gonna eat it later, probably not gonna videotape it. That's the video for today. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys liked me making a cake. I hope you guys actually do try this chocolate cake recipe because I think it's really good. And I was really surprised the first time I ate it that it was vegan because usually vegan cakes taste a little bit different, but this one actually tastes really good. And I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you guys next week.